Nigeria's crude oil blended and unblended and condensate output rose to 1.572 million barrels per day in September, indicating the highest production level so far in the year. This is according to a new report by the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. According to data from the Upstream Regulatory Authority, the nation's oil production grew from 1.41 million barrels per day in August by 11.4%. For the entire month, crude oil production averaged 1.35 million barrels per day, while blended and unblended condensate had respective volumes of 50,732 and 175,022 barrels per day. Now, to discuss this, we're joined by energy and consultant and analyst expert Seun Dania. Thank you so much for joining us, Seun. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right, so Nigeria increased its crude oil output, but analysis of the data from the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission revealed that the country is still far from meeting its Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries quota, despite the increase in output. Now, what is the OPEC quota and how can Nigeria achieve this?
As of August 2022, this year, the OPEC quota for Nigeria is about 1.74 million barrels per day. And, Nigeria has been struggling to meet this quota because of, quite a couple of factors, including oil theft, pipeline vandalization, and product outages. We know, most of the oil producing companies in Nigeria at some point during the year have reached tank top. And tank top means they've produced to the maximum capacity, they have stored what they have, but they are not able to inject the crude oil that they have produced to get to, the terminals for exports. And the reason is clear: insecurity, and insecurity. At some point, maybe about a few years ago, maybe 3 years ago, we were reporting close to 40 or 50% loss for every barrel of crude oil that was injected, getting to the terminals. So the government really needs to, work on, insecurity issues in order to be able to attract investment for that sector and for us to get back to meeting our quota.
All right, so Seun, aside, insecurity, what are the drivers or factors of the decline in oil production in Nigeria?
Well, aside from, like I said, it's insecurity, and insecurity. So oil theft leads to, which is a factor, which is as a result of insecurity and pipeline sabotage. It is not encouraging for businesses to invest more or to produce more. Like I mentioned, a lot of the oil producing companies, they reach tank top. So normally they have storages on their flow stations just, to hold some of the products in case there's a small damage in the pipeline for some days. And, they can then later resume injecting. But these days they are recording huge losses, so their tanks are full, they cannot inject because the pipelines are continuously being vandalized on a daily basis. And, the oil infrastructure is aging, so there's a lot of need for repair. So apart from even pipeline, I could tell that the Forcados terminal was shut down for a couple of months, for repairs, leading to a lot of production outages and losses by all these companies. And in turn, this will lead to low investments because nobody wants to invest in drilling new wells for finding more discoveries when they are not maximizing the potentials of the already producing oil wells. So that's reducing investment within that industry.
All right, now, Seun, talking about Forcados terminal, you talked about that earlier. Reports actually have it that much of Nigeria's increase came from that particular terminal, which resumed production. And then the volume of crude oil drilled from Yoho also rose marginally from 901,163 barrels per day to 926,264 barrels per day during the month. But then production on other terminals remained, basically stagnant. So why is this so, and what can be done, to increase production in these terminals?
So aside from the insecurity, apart from fixing the leakages in the pipeline, the other thing that they can also do is to invest in the infrastructure in those terminals in order to be able to take in more products and be able to, supply the vessels that are coming to pick up products at a lot faster. Basically, if they invest in their infrastructure, they're able to be more effective and more efficient. So pretty much it's just simple. In order to increase efficiency, all those all the other terminals need to put in a lot of investments, and investments will come either from the government or the government just providing a favorable environment for people to be willing to invest their monies into those terminals.
All right, just as you've said, Seun, it's very simple, just invest in some of these terminals, boost the infrastructure, and then, you boost oil. That's oil production. Well, thank you so much for joining us at this time.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for having me.